Lovely. Okay then, so let's talk today around WorkBuzz and our referral program. That's the purpose of today's half an hour together. It might be that we run in a little bit less than half an hour, so hopefully I can give you a little bit of time back to kind of go about your very busy days. So yes, we're here today to talk around WorkBuzz, who we are and why that might be relevant to some of your clients, and equally what we can do together to enable them to have success when it comes to employee listening strategy, and as a result of an introduction to WorkBuzz for your clients, how you could get rewarded for that as well. But what I wanted to do is kind of take it really back to the beginning and go back through to actually, well, who are WorkBuzz and why should you care about that? Who we are, what are we about, and why would that be relevant for your clients? So hopefully you can see my screen, and I'll just go through and start sharing from there. Okay. So as I mentioned, what we're going to cover today is just a bit about who we are, what we do, and what next from there. Anyone that isn't joining today, I will be sending a recording through, and I'll send you across a recording as well if you haven't been able to join, so that you can listen back, pick up any of the points that you want to think back through as well after the fact. So who are we? Here we have a wonderful picture of all of us here at WorkBuzz. And this, for just a bit of context, each year we have our annual kickoff, and it's a real great opportunity for us to get all of the teams together from across the UK. We're headquartered in Milton Keynes, but we have teams in the UK, Poland, and across Europe as well as the States. So it's a really great opportunity for us all to get together. And having had the privilege, I should have introduced myself. My name is Lilith Nagorski, and I'm partner manager here at WorkBuzz. I apologise. And I've had the privilege of actually being with WorkBuzz since the beginning, since we were founded in 2018. And it's been a real privilege for me because I've actually been working directly with our clients during that time and within the role of a customer success manager. And I've moved through to the role of partner manager in the past year as well. And so it's really exciting for me to kind of see how we've grown over that time. And for this kind of event where we're able to get everybody together, it's a really great opportunity for us. So yes, just some of the facts. We're founded in 2018, headquartered in Milton Keynes. We've raised 13 million of funding, which we're really proud of, and we're continuing to grow annually as well. We have around 400 plus clients, which is really exciting. And as I mentioned, I've kind of come from that customer success team originally before I moved into partner manager role, and I'm really proud of the client ratings that we get and the relationships that we form with our clients as well. And hopefully that's going to come through today as I'm talking to you about kind of the passion between our customer success team and the end client, and what that means for the client as well, and how that differentiates us as well. So we've got really high ratings from our clients. We've also got very high ratings internally when you look at our Glassdoor, and we've also got lots of really strong reviews on G2. So I do encourage you to go and have a look at what's out there in the public domain around WorkBuzz already, and just see how we've been supporting our clients so far on our journey. Okay. In terms of what we do, as you can see from the lovely graphic that we have on the slide here, we partner with a lot of different clients. We are sector agnostic, industry agnostic. We will work with, we have 400 plus clients across our bank, and lots of those we've been working with for many years as well. And one of the pieces that we want to enable our clients to do is to give employees a voice. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And we want to make sure that the employees that perhaps typically wouldn't have that voice, that perhaps might not be desk-based, email-based, that they have the opportunity to have their say and voice their opinions, their feedback in the same way that employees sat at desks would as well. So we've got lots of features within the system that enable that conversation from the clients and the end users from there. So we've got surveys and dashboards in 50 plus languages with over 100 plus countries. It's really simple, transparent pricing and a very simple structure on how people can access WorkBuzz. And one of the pieces is that there's no friction. So if you're using WorkBuzz, there's no need to download another app. And also we will pride ourselves on actually meeting our clients where they are to make sure that if they're already using an employee app or communication channel, whatever that might look like, then we will have that conversation to explore what integration could there be. Because there's lots of interesting and super developments around kind of the APIs, SFTPs, and all sorts of sharings of data that we can do, and we can meet the client where they are on that side of things. In terms of what we do in terms of that real world insight piece, It's a single unified platform, which is really, really powerful for the HR teams that typically we work with can log into a single place. They can upload their employee data, run their survey, they can log in and see how the response rates are going. And after the fact, they can also then log in and see the results dashboard. And from there, they can grant access to people leaders to see their results. And also they can then monitor action planning and set action plan access for people leaders as well. So it turns it from being kind of a HR initiative through to an everybody initiative. But it's all done through one platform. So it's a really nice, clean experience for the client. On the screen here, there's a lovely little QR code, so you can have a little scan of that and have an experience of what that survey looks like. But the fact that the surveys reach every employee, we've got a couple of channels that you can use when it comes to sending out your survey. Typically, they might be invited via email, which is, of course, the more traditional way, but we also have an approach called kiosk mode, which enables clients to grant access to employees that haven't got email addresses. They can all scan one QR code and enter a unique identifier to then take place in the survey. So it's not an open link survey, so it means you haven't got the risk of inflated response rates, incorrect kind of tagging of where people might sit within a hierarchy. You can do all that up front, but it enables you to grant access to the survey to people on the front line that perhaps haven't got that email address access. And finally, you've got the kind of an informed action for all people leaders. And this is where I'm talking around the results dashboard and how clean and simple and easy to use they are, regardless of your kind of tenure when it comes to using systems like this. If you are kind of a seasoned HR professional that's used to using those dashboards, it's going to be a very easy experience for yourselves. But equally, when it comes to people leaders that perhaps might not have used these systems in the past, it's very intuitive, easy to find where to focus and to kind of see this narrative that's coming through in the dashboards as well. So there's lots of ways that we've designed the system to make sure that it's really clean, simple, and accessible for everybody that's using it, from kind of the HR teams that are actually building, deploying the surveys, through to employees that are actually completing the surveys themselves, and then, of course, to people leaders that are wanting to see the results and act on those results as well. Now, one thing I've mentioned is that we have developed our platform, our WorkBuzz platform, to be really simple, engaging for people that are using it. And as part of our relationships with clients over the years, we've learned a lot around where the challenges might be in terms of distributing the access to the results and also making sure that they are used for the intent that you're providing them with. So we've kind of identified that this is a bit of a double-sided problem. And what I mean by that is that we can see that when it comes to people leaders or team managers, it might be that they're logging into a system like this for the first time and they're just not confident going through the data and identifying where they should focus and what they should do with that data. And equally, they might have a challenge of actually understanding the why behind it. Why should I be the one that's looking at employee engagement, and what do I need to do with this? Sometimes systems can be quite overwhelming in terms of the data and the story that's within the results that have come through. And when you're dealing with your day job and all your kind of prioritization, you can be quite time poor when it comes to actually logging in, looking at the results and trying to work out what to do with it. And on the other side of that, that's just looking at the people leaders. On the other side of that, when we're starting to think about the HR teams that perhaps we're working with day to day, oftentimes the challenge we will see them faced with is that depending on the scale of the organization they're within, it might be that they just haven't got the capacity to go out to people leaders and support them with, this is what we're doing with the results, this is where you should focus, and really kind of help them understand what's happening. And we work, typically our client base are HR teams, and those are the stakeholders that we're working with within our clients. We know very much that they are in demand and at capacity when it comes to their day-to-day job. And particularly when we're looking at employee engagement, we want to make it as simple and easy as possible for them to be able to cascade the information that's relevant for their people leaders, and in a really timely manner, not least to make sure that you've done the survey, here are your results, let's action plan on it, and that's all really, really relevant, really, really speedy for them. There can be conflicting priorities. They're also managing your internal stakeholders, supporting your people leaders being the crux of the big piece, and also that benchmark versus impact piece. Those are some of the pieces that we see when it comes to that double-sided problem. And so we understand your world and yourselves as HR leaders being under pressure to deliver. and kind of the time capacity around cascading those results out to people leaders, and also kind of more broadly across the organization as well, which is where one of the innovations that we've launched this year, and it's a piece that I'm really, really excited around, because I can just see the value that it's going to have for our clients that have seen these challenges year on year, and we've been working with them just in terms of accessing consistent messages around the results. And this is where we have our people science AI. It's a really fantastic part of the results dashboard that is intended to really bridge that gap between the HR teams and the challenges they're facing, and the team leaders, the team managers, people leaders that are also facing their own set of challenges. And our people science AI within the system is really intended to bridge that gap, to support you analyze and explaining those survey results. It's separating the signal from the noise, and it's helping you with your action planning, and also being kind of tasked with presenting the results back to the leadership team. You've got that within the dashboards already. It's not intended to replace any kind of HR consultancy, people science that goes along with it, but it really does help you with delivering those consistent messages around what your results are saying much more broadly within your organization as well. So the system, the people science AI, WorkBuzz has 1 million hours of employee engagement experience, and HR can now embrace that experience in their employee listening programs and almost be at the forefront of embedding and adopting AI within the organization. And so it's a really, really powerful part of the WorkBuzz system that's open to our clients that have access to it. Within the people science AI on the dashboard, you do get your department summaries, you get an executive summary, and you get comments analysis as well. Now, on the WorkBuzz website, if you search for people science AI, there's a really great page which offers you an interactive demo kind of on the website itself before you commit through to a real kind of face-to-face, person-to-person demo. So I would really encourage you to go and have a look and see what they're like. And I've been doing demos of people science AI now since kind of the beginning of the year, and it's always so fantastic to kind of see our clients that are using this and that are going to benefit from this just leaning in and kind of saying, well, actually, this is going to be a game changer for us when it comes to kind of distributing the results out to our people leaders. It's going to save so much time, the consistent messaging, and just kind of pointing people in the right direction for action planning without the need for a HRBP to be there in person with them. They can almost get a couple of steps ahead so that now you can actually focus on action planning with them. They've already got the information around what the results are saying, why it's relevant to them, what's changed within their team. And so it really enables them to move forward with action planning. So you're a bit that further along in the employee listening journey with each of your people leaders as well. And so I've focused so far on what you get within the WorkBuzz platform in terms of the end result and why that's really important. But as part of this, I also want to share that with your access to WorkBuzz, clients also get access to those baseline surveys and your regular pulses, which is what you would expect from an employee listening platform. You get your baseline surveys, your regular pulses, which go out to everybody, and they will often include your engagement surveys as your engagement questions. However you might be using those in their current form, we can meet you where you are in terms of your cadence and what works for you. We will never encourage you to over-survey. We know that really, really does drive your survey fatigue internally. We want to make sure that we're doing it on a cadence that suits you, that enables you to fulfill actions on the back of it so that people have more trust and confidence in the surveys as well. You also get access to on-demand polls, which can be used really, really effectively. And I see some clients doing this just impeccably, where they will use the on-demand polls, which are kind of topic or audience specific. So they're separate to your engagement surveys. They enable you to do follow-up on a particular topic that you might have seen coming through in your survey. If you have a team that has a particular challenge around communication, it might be that you want to ask them an on-demand poll to get more feedback and do a deeper dive on that. I've also seen people using on-demand polls in much more creative ways, where they're looking around ideas for innovation or hackathons or all sorts of ways that you can use an on-demand poll there. You've also got within the system your action planning tool. So it's a really great system that enables people leaders to log in and manage and own their own action plans, but it also enables HR team leaders to be able to see all of the action plans that have been created, so that when it comes to those one-to-one conversations, you can bring up the action plan, look at focus and focuses, progress, and just keep engagement on the agenda. Again, thinking around turning employee engagement from a HR initiative through to an everybody initiative. It's a really powerful tool to support you driving action from the insights that you've got from the results dashboard. And then we've also got a module which enables you to turn on onboarding and exit surveys as well. So you can capture feedback from those that have joined or those that have left around reasons for joining, reasons for leaving, what they've liked, what they've not liked. And the fact that it's all in that one system, as I mentioned before, enables you to do some really neat trending between the stories that you can see between surveys, giving you the data to make really, really informed people decisions on the back of the results that are coming through from the system and the dashboard itself. This has all been very platform heavy, and I think it probably comes through that I'm very, very proud of our platform and what it can do. But one piece I'm also supremely proud of is the support that you are offered, that we offer to our clients. As I mentioned, I was part of the customer success team until fairly recently, and it was a real privilege for me to work directly with clients and support them on their employee listening journey, and just seeing how they transform their culture over time and embed it into kind of their day-to-day. It's been a real privilege to kind of work with clients on that front. And whilst the system absolutely empowers them with the data, there is a level of support that we are able to offer here at WorkBuzz, which informs and supports the client reviews and the data that we're getting kind of externally around why people love working with WorkBuzz. So we have our Infinity support model here. So with our clients, they will get their dedicated customer success manager. So it's always that one point of contact that they're working with, which is really great, kind of building the relationship and building trust with your clients as well. As part of their onboarding, there will be a discovery workshop with our people science team where we'll be working with you to explore what you're trying to get from the data, to help define your employee listening strategy. And I've said this a couple of times, but we will meet clients where they are, and we want to kind of challenge and make sure that we are working with them in the best way to give them what they need. But we will also guide them in a very transparent, realistic way to make sure that the system is going to do what they need and it's going to be the right cadence for them. So we've got that discovery. We'll also help you design your survey questions. Now, one of the pieces with WorkBuzz is that the questions are predominantly on that 5-point Likert scale, but you're not restricted to the questions that you are asking. So we will guide you on those, but you have final say on the kind of the wording around it. We want to make sure it suits your tone. Even if you want a totally bespoke question added in, we can work with you on that as well. We'll work with you to train you up on the system. Now, so there are elements of WorkBuzz that are absolutely self-serve. People can build their survey, upload their employee data, change their hierarchy, deploy surveys, be they on-demand, pulse surveys, whatever that might look like. Power users, we will work with you and train you up to learn the WorkBuzz platform. As I mentioned, everything's super simple and really easy to understand, intuitive. But it enables you to feel more empowered that your clients, that actually, if you decided on a Monday that you wanted to run a survey on a Wednesday, absolutely, you can go ahead and do that. There's no barriers. You don't have to wait for anybody to come back to you and kind of do that for you. You can have access to the system that enables you to go in and run those surveys yourselves. All that being said, we're always here. We're always here to kind of support our clients. And it's one of those pieces where we will absolutely support you to run the surveys in whatever way suits you. We will help you through the pre-launch, making sure that everything's ready to go, giving you complete confidence in the system, because particularly if this is a new system for your clients, then we want to make sure that everybody's comfortable, confident that everything is going as expected and as planned from there. So we'll support you through the pre-launch. Whilst it's live, you'll get your regular updates on the response rates. And then when it comes to survey close, there is no lag between survey close and results being published. As part of the configuration and the pre-launch, we will have worked with you to set the survey, set your demographics and upload your hierarchy to make sure that at survey close, when it closes at midnight on that day, the very next day you can log in and see the results on the dashboards as well. And we have had clients in the past logging in at 5 past midnight because they're really keen to see the results as well. But the fact there is no lag is really, really powerful, particularly when we're thinking about the action planning elements of it as well. So you get your results, we'll grant you access to the dashboard. You can then cascade out the results through to your people leads if you're ready to do that. And then from there, you've got the opportunity as well to have insights from our own people science team, who will do a deep dive into your results, helping identify when we go back to the discovery workshop, what we found there, what insights have we got that help support what we found in the discovery workshop as well. And then finally, from there, we would have that review each year. We'd make sure that actually the system is doing what you need. Is there anything else you need? Because we're in the business of feedback. We want to make sure that our system, the WorkBuzz platform, gives you what you need. So we will always have that review and the opportunity for people to give that feedback and share their experiences with us around using the system. So it's that level of support that's alongside the platform that really differentiates us and really differentiates WorkBuzz. I've referenced our people science team as well, and here's just a little guide around some of the services that are available within our people science. So I mentioned that discovery session where we'll get context around what your clients need from the WorkBuzz platform. They will help you design that survey, making sure that the questions are relevant for what you're trying to get to from the survey from there. Turning that data into insight. The people in the people science team, they're a wonderful, wonderful group of people and super powerful when it comes to kind of turning that data into really, really compelling storytelling and insight into the behavioral elements around the results. And they're fantastic kind of delivering the results to different levels across the organization as well. And we also have the defining actions that deliver change. So moving from the insight that we're seeing in the dashboard, turning that into action. So you've got the opportunity for facilitated workshops as well, should that be something you want to explore. But we have our people science team who are just wonderful in terms of actually bringing the data to life and helping you tell that story internally as well. So what does that mean for you as a HR consultant? What we've set up for yourselves is a way that you can refer WorkBuzz to your clients if you feel that it would be a right fit for them, but you can get a reward from the introduction. It's not up to you necessarily to kind of do any selling around WorkBuzz, but certainly it enables you to get some reward from just having that thought process of, I have this client, they have this particular need, I know about WorkBuzz, they might be the right fit, let's have a conversation. All you need to do is register on our microsite, and from that registration, you would then get a unique tracking link, which you could then send to any of your clients that you feel that this would be relevant to. If they then meet the threshold of having 200 plus headcount, they sit the demo, having booked the demo through the link that you've sent them, you would then receive a £250 reward. If that demo goes through to them being a WorkBuzz client at the end of the process, then you would get a further £750 reward on the back of that. So your total reward from a client introduction could be £1,000. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight of where we're going to. And the reason we've set this up in the first place is that we're getting these referrals and these introductions in already, but we want to make sure that actually we're giving something back to those that are doing those introductions. So hopefully setting this up in a formal process enables you to continue doing the good work you're doing, but with the opportunity of a little bit of reward for yourselves as well. So just some key information. You would have seen on the previous slide that it's 200 plus headcount organizations are the ones that are eligible for the reward program. At present, this is only available for yourselves, your independent people related consultancies. To become part of the system, you need to register on our microsite. So the link is here, but I'll make sure I do send that through to you afterwards as well. And we also have a series of FAQs available on the WorkBuzz website, which are answering all the questions that you might have around the partner referral program. That being said, I will just pause and see if we have any questions that have come through. Not just yet. So, and I think if, like me, all the questions that you think of come after the fact of logging off a call, then please do reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Fire them at me. I'll be more than happy to go through those. So you can either contact me on my email address on screen, which is lilith.nagorski@workbuzz.com, or you can reach me on LinkedIn, or I think my mobile number as well is in my emails that you may have received as well. So hopefully this has given you some real insight in the fact that WorkBuzz isn't just another survey tool. It's a really scalable AI enhanced listening platform combined with expert support. And all that support's kind of built into it to influence engagement, retention, culture, and all those good metrics that we see you working with your clients on day in, day out. the system has been built in such a way that it's intended to empower HR consultants like yourselves to deliver that strategic value, giving you measurable outcomes, and also helping you become more kind of that sustainable client impact with your clients as well. The key points are around WorkBuzz having that real frontline reach and real-time actionability, for want of a better word. It's a real standard when it comes to employee listening. So thank you very much for your time today, for dialing in. I really appreciate you taking the time to join. I really hope you found it valuable. And please do reach out if you do have any questions. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.